Well, tell me, Len, what are you doing right now?
I have a shot of Deep Eddy lemon flavored vodka. Here, and this show it has driven me to drinking.
You've poured one out for all the comrades we've lost along the way.
Yeah.
All the great characters that were written well and acted masterfully, and
that burns just right down the throat for how I feel about
this show. And then thrown in the garbage.
And it was all thrown in the dumpster. All thrown in the dumpster.
Hey guys! Straight burn for how the show makes me feel.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's been a while since we've talked about Kamen Rider. We're back, and this time with a third person. Introduce yourself, third person. You've been on the channel before, but introduce yourself.
It's me. It's me, Brendan.
Yes, Len's very close friend. He also likes
Indeed.
Kamen Rider. So
I do, when it's good.
So we stopped doing episode reviews a while back. It was around episode 30. And honestly, I didn't know this at the time, but I am so glad that we stopped doing episode reviews. Because these last couple of episodes have been very pessimistic.
Instrumental.
We've become grizzled old men now that this show is over.
This show has jaded us past our years.
I feel like I've aged 20 years while watching the show.
Yeah. So, those of you who have been following the channel for the episode reviews will know that we have liked Kamen Rider Zero-One so far. All three of us can now say, man, we wish we could still like Kamen Rider Zero-One.
Absolutely.
I don't like that. I don't like Kamen Rider Zero-One.
It was so great. I don't exactly know how we're going to structure this, but I think the best way to do this is we're going to start from the beginning, and we're just going to make our way to the end.
We'll start from 0 and work our way to 1.
We're going to start from 0 and work our way to 1.
Absolutely.
And I think the best way to do that, let's talk about the first 12 or 15 episodes of this show. This is basically going to be a 4-part review because there are 4 parts to this show.
Yeah.
So the beginning of the show, we can all agree that it was good, yeah?
Yeah. The beginning of the show was great.
It was different. It was unique. The main character was likable. All the characters, I would say, are likable.
And
it was a good start to the Rewind era.
Yeah, it was a good way to start. It started us off. We got Aruto at the beginning. We didn't really get, but then like 3 episodes in, we were like, man, Aruto's the best. We sure do love Aruto, but Fua's awesome, you know.
Hey,
angry monkey man gonna punch people in the face with his big old monkey arms.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Fua's great.
Fua's great, and we'll talk about that. And, you know, the beginning of the show was good. It was a good starter. It was a good appetizer. And then it all changed when Jin died and a man named Guy Amatsu showed up. And the show slowed to a crawl. I wouldn't call it god-awful, but
just slowed.
It was painful to watch.
It was anime filler is what it was.
Pretty much.
It was longer than it needed.
Straight filler.
Yeah, it basically was filler. It was a arc of, we're gonna do these 2-episode challenges, and it is gonna suck. But there's gonna be 2 episodes here in the middle that are actually important, which is him getting the progressing Hopper Blade and learning to use Metal Cluster Hopper, which was a bunch of really good episodes. Those 2 in particular were amazing, and it reminded me, like, yeah, this show is great, I love it, it's so good. And then episode 29 hit, and that is still my favorite episode of this show, because our boy Fua pops off!
Hell yeah!
That is still the best fight scene in the show. Best scene in the show.
One of the best forms.
One of my favorite suits ever, I would easily say, is the Rampage Vulcan suit. It is...
Rampage Vulcan is very, very cool.
It is so good. And then, after that hit, 29 to 35, we were actually really enjoying the show, me and Len.
Yeah.
it was kind of getting back to form. Characters were just kind of being characters. Guy wasn't always important. We were getting back to Metsubo Jinrai instead of dealing with Guy and his dumb ego, which literally dragged the show down. And then COVID-19 hit. And this show had to go on hiatus. And I don't have a doubt in my mind that while this show went on hiatus, there are two options here. This show was always meant to have 45 episodes, but the ending was supposed to be different, or 4 episodes changed, or 4 episodes got taken out. There were supposed to be 49 episodes. Toei said, we're not going off of schedule. Saber has to come out on September the 6th. Make your show shorter. So they had to go back to the writing room, and instead of sticking to what they had, they rewrote the ending and basically the entire final arc of the show to be completely different. Because this does not... Everything before Corona hit and after Corona hit are 2 completely different shows.
Yeah. It really feels like they just decided to make a different show after Corona.
This is the way we put it while we were watching it, is that the show was really good, and then it was shit. And then it got really good again, and then it said, hey, check this out. Did a triple axle backflip directly into a fucking grave.
No, the whole show is like a backflip. He did, the performer, the gymnast did his stretches. They did them all correctly. He set himself up very well, and while he stumbled to get into the air, somehow when he got into the air, it was looking pretty sick, and he was so close to sticking the landing, then the gates of hell themselves opened up and swallowed him whole seconds before he stuck the landing.
Yeah.
That is how that's what this show is.
It's like, what the fuck?
And it feels really bad because the acting is so good.
Let's talk about what we like. Acting. All of the actors in this show gave it their fucking all. And it is so good. I don't think there's a single actor in this show I would genuinely say is bad. Even though Guy's writing isn't amazing, his actor still plays Guy perfectly. That is the character they wanted, and he gave it him all. Aruto, wonderfully likable character. He is a really cool guy, and he acts as a goofy kid like he's supposed to, and succeeds in doing that very well. Izu starts out as emotional as personal aid, gets way better, and then Fua's just the man through the entire thing. Absolutely.
Who was there?
Who was just Fua?
Fua is our favorite character because there's something about him, you know, being so passionate about what he does and it coming out so well through his acting. And even through his writing at the beginning of the show, his entire thing is that he's gonna fight to figure out what his dream is. He's gonna fight to figure out what his dream is, even if he may not know it. And he is upset that Yua, who won't be her own independent person, even though she proclaims to the high heaven that she is. And so he beats the shit out of her, and then she goes, "Okay, yeah, maybe you're right."
Yeah. Probably not a good idea.
And that was good.
It was good.
It
would have been better if it didn't take 20 episodes.
I know.
Sorry, I shouldn't have shouted.
We're gonna be a little upset. The writing in this show has easily been the worst of it. Like, cause it was like, this is good, this is bad. All right, it's back to being pretty good. What the fuck? Did you? Like, I genuinely believe the writers for this show got real woke all of a sudden when they wrote this last half. Because the entire theme of the show has been dreams and how to achieve them and what can technology do to achieve that dream, especially if they themselves have their own dreams.
Yeah.
And then
it's a really interesting concept.
And it worked. They were doing it. Aruto was great because he believed so much in the idea of dreams and how important they are to succeeding. And then
Then the writer of the show looked at David Cage and was like, you know what? That guy's got some good ideas.
Yeah. What if we made the Humagears sit at the back of the bus? All right, we're going to talk about this now instead of later. I apologize if we don't address this in the correct way, but it is unavoidable as American viewers of this show. In episode 44, I don't want to say shit goes down. However, it gets to a point where basically Hirobi spoilers. Okay, obviously that's going to be at the beginning of this video, but spoilers are super spoilers right now. Hirobi kills Izu. Aruto loses his shit and becomes the bad guy, honestly. He gets the powers of the Ark and starts being like super malicious and hell-bent on killing Hirobi. Hirobi uses this as leverage to say, "Wake up, sheeple," and they do. And then they go and protest with signs that say, "Wake up, Humagears." And then a police officer takes one of the Humagears and puts them on the ground and puts his knee on his back and holds him at gunpoint.
I hated that scene so fucking much.
Here's what I'm gonna say. It's awkward seeing. I am not going to pick a side. I'm not going to proclaim my political statements here. That is not what we do on this channel. We are not here to get political.
I very much want to avoid being political.
But we can't sidestep this issue now because it's infiltrated our own show. The protests that have happened here in America have stood for something that is way more complex than this show wants to portray it as. I am fine with a political message being in a show. However, when you use that political message of something that is happening in a completely different country as a plot point into your show, it feels tasteless. Because it is much more complex than the show wants to portray it as. It is not as simple as, why can't everyone get along? Listen, robots, people, please, you both have hearts. Why can't we all get along? And then they all hug. It's not as simple as that. It really isn't. But the show wants to portray it as simple as that, and that's just not how it works.
It's not that simple.
It really isn't just as simple as the show wants to portray it. It feels... I'm not saying that other countries can't get in, like they can't proclaim that what's happening here in America isn't wrong. They're totally allowed to do that. That's fine. But this is Kamen Rider.
Show for children.
Not only is this Kamen Rider, this is a season of Kamen Rider that wasn't built up to that.
That's not what this was. That's genuinely isn't what this was. This was a complete and utter total shift into the fucking grave. If this is really
so much.
If this is really what the main writer meant when he said that the ending of this show is going to reflect the modern day, congratulations, you reflected it wrong. You didn't do...
You reflected it through a warped mirror.
Yeah, it's...
A fun house and a focus.
Like, you got that there are in fact protests happening, and they are over the rights of, you know, of a marginalized group of people. But I don't think you understand why. Anyway,
I just if you're going to do something like this, you have to spend the whole show building up to
that needs to be what the show is about, because the show hasn't been humans hate Humagears. The show has been humans want to love Humagears. They want to do this. They want, like, humans want, when all the Humagears get thrown away, yes, some of them go, ugh, I never liked Humagears to begin with. But the entire point of those episodes from 29 to 35 are to show that there is still hope in the world, that people like Humagears, and Aruto is going to do his best to prove that they are worth something.
And then the writing took a huge shift into all this dumb bullshit need to be said.
Exactly.
When the last episode happened?
And we're going to talk about the last episode now. Let's just do an episode review. All right. So, essentially, everyone goes, Aruto, don't go fight Hirobi. And then he says, fuck it, I'm going to go fight Hirobi. He transforms into Arc 1. And then they fight. And then they do a fight. And it looks rad. And it's great. And oh my gosh, the action in this show is amazing. And then,
oh my god, Unlimited Blade Works.
I know.
Wow.
And then they speech the hell out of each other. They do some speeching. And it's good acting. And it makes me sad. Because they're acting the hell out of some diarrhea word vomit.
Yeah.
It's great acting. They do it so well, and then none of it works. And they try their best. They really do.
And Hirobi realizes that it's his fault that Jun's dead because he killed Izu and Aruto's dad.
Yeah. Wait, what? No, he did. And then everyone's like, the entire thing I noticed during this episode is that all the side characters are there to explain how the audience is supposed to feel. Like, because while they're doing this, they're like, oh, I get it. Aruto went there because he wants to die. He wants Hirobi to win. But then Aruto is like, no, my dad told me. And then we get a really good dad speech that I won't lie was pretty sick. And then we get the 5th final form Aruto has gotten, which is
his final form,
which is realizing Hopper because he goes back to the Zero-One driver.
And
the Rising Hopper key just kind of randomly turns into it without any explanation.
Well, it's because dad, I don't know. There's always been a weird bullshit magical part of Kamen Rider. There's just things happen, don't worry about it. But it was a sick fighting scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a great fight. One of the best fucking scenes out of Zero-One.
The transformation was really cool. The lines it says are great.
I know. And the line of a jump to the sky takes off towards a dream instead of a jump to the sky turns to a rider kick. That exemplifies what Aruto has been.
To the sky, I think is what it said. Takes off towards a dream.
It's something like that. That exemplifies what Aruto has been wanting to say this entire show. Except now that doesn't matter anymore because this isn't about dreams anymore.
That mindset was early Zero-One, and this is not Zero-One anymore.
Yeah. And then Aruto wins, but doesn't kill Hirobi because he believes Hirobi can be brought back or whatever.
Oh, it's a rider kick to the sky, turns to take off toward a dream.
Oh, never mind. It's a word soup that I thought sounded cool. All right. I don't do this a lot because I don't think, a lot of times people are like, oh, this is how the show should have ended. I'm going to say how the show should have ended. Let's say that all of this stays the same. We get the reveal of Aruto turning into a villain. And let's take out episode 44 and 45. Okay. Aruto kills Jin, like we see in episode 43. All that stays the same. Hirobi loses it, he gets upset. But instead of turning towards the Ark, he should instead realize that the Ark has been literally what he has been fighting against this entire time. Hirobi should instead turn into Zero-One. Maybe like a cool Zero-One Scorpion type thing. And he should now realize he needs to take helm.
That's been a good idea.
He needs to take helm as protagonist to stop Aruto. Because Aruto has lost it. He has gone completely insane over the death of Izu. He has gone too far. He has lost sight of what he believes in. Episode 44 should be Hirobi realizing this, him getting the driver, him turning into, I don't know. He should turn into realizing Hopper, because he realizes he was wrong.
Yeah.
He turns into realizing Hopper. There is the showdown between Arc 1 and realizing Hopper. And I think episode 45, it should do a Kuga ending. We get a shot, they both land the final blow on each other, cut to credits. It should be left as a mystery as to who won, because the entire point of the show is that both of these ideals and ways of thinking are correct. The point of Metsubo Jinrai and them hating the malice that is within humans is correct.
Yeah, we suck.
They're not wrong. Yeah. Humans suck, but Aruto's ideals is to fight for the dreams of humanity because he believes that human gears and people can work together. Leave it as a Kuga ending. Leave it as a mystery, and then the V cinemas can fill in, I guess. I don't fucking know. But now we just have a show where now we just have an ending where everyone goes, and now we're all okay, and everything was okay.
Now we're gonna have a movie that's continuation of this question mark.
Yeah, we gotta look at Eden. Probably that's his name, Kamen Rider Eden.
Yeah, Eden, I think. Yeah. It looks fine. I guess I'll watch the movie.
The shoe kind of reminds me of Rogue, but
it does look a lot like Rogue.
Yeah.
Overall,
Rogue looks cool. So you know.
I've been doing a lot of talking. I'm gonna let you guys talk for a minute. What do you guys think? What do you think about my idea?
Your idea sounds good. I wish the show did that. I wish the show did a fucking Birth by Sleep and had Hirobi fighting Aruto while Aruto fought the Arc inside.
Yeah, something like that. That would have worked too. What do you think, Brendan?
I like the idea a lot because it would show the switch around of ideals of Hirobi just being like, "Oh, I was crazy wrong. Let's fix that."
Yeah.
And then Aruto being like, "I hate everyone now. Because if I can't have Izu, then nothing might as well be good."
Because when me and Len, we kept watching Zero-One together, even though we didn't do the episode reviews. When we went and we watched the episode, which ends with the reveal of Aruto turning into Arc 1, we flipped our shit. We thought that was fucking awesome.
It was like, man, I really hope they don't fuck this up, and then they fucked it up.
Yep.
Like, honestly, I was really surprised that Aruto became Arc 1, but then they decided to throw that idea out the fucking window.
If everything leading up to the ending was bad, but the ending was good, I would say this show is salvageable. Like, you can watch it and know that there's satisfaction at the end. I cannot recommend this show anymore.
I can't say I should have people watch this. I can't listen. If you suffer through like episodes like 16 to 27, you'll be good because you won't.
Yeah.
Like, if this ending wasn't as terrible as it was, I could have recommended the show.
I don't hate the final episode.
No,
I don't either.
Because the final episode was great.
That's the thing. We don't hate this show. We are just we're like a bunch of dads right now. We're not mad. We're just disappointed. You could have done better.
I took a shot before we started this review because I needed the burning sensation to remind me of how I feel about this show.
I needed the remembrance that I'm alive.
This show there's parts where you see it and it's like, yeah, that's really good. And then it just doesn't stick a landing on anything.
We had in the works a Kiva video where we talked about how basically the first half of that show is good and then the second half is awful. This is a different situation. Because here's the thing. Kiva, the second half of Kiva isn't fucking salvageable. It's just not. It's bad. It's really, really bad. There is a good show here.
And it's so sad that there are parts that if you just tweak this just a little bit, like
if we took X-Aid, like the best comparator of Zero-One is X-Aid. Because, you know, a lot of the same people worked on that show. Specifically, the head writer. I think it's the head writer. Or is it the director?
It's either the writer or the director.
It's one of the two. I can recommend X8, even though I think the ending of that show drags a bit. That's like a B minus show, because the characters in that show are so good and so enjoyable that you're gonna stick through it because you want to see how Emu's gonna win. You like seeing Emu win. He's a great character. I can't recommend this show as the same way, because originally how I was thinking this was gonna end was, yeah, parts were bad, but man, the characters were really great. I can't do that anymore because all the characters became just oatmeal at the end of the show. An unrecognizable mush of maybe taste.
It feels like they took ideas just randomly out of the writing room and just threw it into a pot and was like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
The devious Scrooge from Breath of the Wild.
Should we compare robots to black people? Yeah, let's do that.
Great idea.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay, I got it. Zero-One is like a hot pot. Okay? Hot pots have all these different ingredients. They're cooked together. They're blended in harmony. But if you put the wrong ingredient into the hot pot, it messes up the whole dish.
Yeah.
And they put 2 or 3 of the wrong ingredients in this show.
Yeah. Basically. They didn't know that coriander was just another way to say cilantro. So they just went, put whatever the fuck you want in there.
And they just threw shit in there. It didn't need to be in the hot pot, and they ruined the flavor of the show.
That's a good way to put it.
It honestly just feels like 2 different shows.
Exactly. That's what I said at the beginning of this. Is that
before
Corona, it was all right. It looked like it was going to end okay, and after Corona, it was like, what the fuck happened here? I think genuinely there are 4 episodes here that are missing.
Yeah.
Toei would not move on delaying Kamen Rider Saber.
I think if we had the 4 episodes and they didn't try to compare robots to black people, we'd be okay with it.
Exactly. If we put back in those 4 episodes that were meant to be there, because here's the thing: the final form of Kamen Rider Zero-Two is used for 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's not
3.
And the show is so weird sometimes. Like in 44, when Aruto and Fua fight, he goes into Zero-Two.
Yeah!
And then they do this weird shot where Zero-Two's fighting, but they cut in the shots they already used from the last episode where Arc 1 comes and swings at bitches. And it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Oh, and let's talk about that. Fua gets another final form that isn't Rampage Vulcan. He gets Orthus because Naki throws him the Japanese wolf key, which Naki got to be a Kamen Rider. It was an alright suit, I guess. Wasn't used much, nor was Naki. There are so many dropped fucking plot points in this show that I have a feeling we're going to get some pretty good V-cinemas from this.
Yeah.
I hope.
I feel like they might actually turn those lost 4 episodes into V-cinemas.
Because here's the thing. I can see the V-cinema with Fua and Naki where they actually get to, because that's the note that episode 35 left off on. It looks like we were going to learn more about Fua and Naki, and they were going to learn more about each other. And then just the episodes where Fua and Naki kind of connect now that they're separate people and they become Orthus Vulcan are just gone. But they had the suit lying around and they want to sell more toys, so please buy it.
You can fucking just put it into a V-cinema. If the V-cinemas of the show end up being really, really, really good, I might be able to recommend it later. But not right now, as it is.
I really hope there's, all I want is just a good Vulcan V-cinema. Because I love Fua. I still love Fua. I would say top, maybe not 5, but top 10 Kamen Rider characters. I love Fua so much. And even though he did nothing in the final parts of the show, which I think is good because they didn't ruin his character.
Yeah.
Hell, I would even say in 44, he's the only person that is still the same because he realizes Aruto is on the wrong track. He's gonna do what he does best, and he's gonna beat some sense into him, and yet he's not able to because Orthus Vulcan isn't as strong as Zero-Two or whatever. Can we talk about how sick Zero-Two is, by the way?
It's really
cool. I just wish it was used properly.
It was used properly and got the 4 more episodes it needed. That's the thing. There are 4 episodes here that are missing, and I do not doubt that for a fucking second.
This is the opposite problem X8 has.
Exactly.
X8 was too long, Zero-One was too short.
X8 was too long, and it was also 45 episodes. It's because they introduced the final form way too soon, and it's like, well, I guess I guess nothing's a challenge anymore.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Too bad. Hyper Muteki.
There's just so much wasted potential in this show.
And the action is so sick, and all the music is so good, and
It's really good.
man, and
The
Izu.
final fight was really well done.
Oh, and yeah, Izu and Jin die, and also they're back again at the end of the episode, at the end of the finale.
Yeah,
Of course
except
they
Izu
are.
doesn't have any memories.
She'll get him back
All
in the
that-
movie. I don't doubt that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if we get a good Hirobi and Jinvi cinema from it, I mean, who knows?
Or I get some like Izu Zero-One movie.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get in. Well, that's what the movie's gonna be. It's gonna be Eden shows up and he's all like, "Humans, I'm sorry, you still gotta die." And then Arto's gonna go, "No, Eden, you horse's ass, you horse's ass."
Like shit, I am a horse's ass. He's gonna talk no jutsu. This is just Naruto.
And then he rider kicks him and it's gonna be rad. And then Izu's like, "I have all my memories back, yay!"
Naruto
And that is-
Naito. They don't.
It's so disappointing.
Do you know why this last episode was disappointing? It's because it had good moments, but it didn't deserve those moments.
Exactly.
He didn't.
None of the hype that this episode could have brought was deserved.
Or
It had a really
the
cool-
payoffs, like that last scene where Aruto's
And-
teaching Izu how to Aruto Ja Naito.
I honestly,
it would have been a really nice
here's the
scene.
thing. Here's the thing. I do not blame the director, the actors. I do not blame a lot of the people for how this show turned
No,
out.
it was Toei.
I blame Toei and probably the writers' room. Because Toei went, "Hey, we're cutting your show short." And they probably went, "Huh? But we need more time." "No, we got a schedule to follow." And
We have Saber coming up, so
yo, you
just,
see that
finish
Kamen
it up.
Rider? You see that Kamen Rider Saber? He's looking pretty cool.
People are liking him. We should
And
hurry
then-
that shit up.
And then Toei left the room, and then the director went, "Well, writers, I mean, can we rewrite this script?" And they went, "Oh yeah, we can rewrite this script." I was like, "All right, good. Like, just shorten it up a bit." And he's like, "No. I've been
Like,
inspired.
better idea."
I've been inspired." And they went, okay." They probably just didn't have the time to make this show what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I just
I want to like this show.
I really
wanna
want
like
to.
this
I really want to tell you people that hey, you should go watch Zero-One, but
I-
I can't in good conscience do that.
100% same. I wanted how I wanted this season this season finale review to go is, man, there's a slow part in the middle, but you should watch Zero-One, and I can't do that anymore, and it hurts.
It feels so terrible.
Because some of my favorite characters, my favorite action scenes, some of my favorite Kamen Rider moments in general are in this show. Because when this show is good, it's fucking good.
It slaps hard, and then it just fucking decides to miss
I
a
know.
lot.
I wanted to
So
recommend
frustrating.
this
It's really cool backflip, and the ground just opens up
show.
beneath
Exactly.
them.
It was a really cool backflip. Like, I can't, because everyone knows my least favorite season is Wizard. This is not my least favorite Kamen Rider show. Wizard is just boring. It is
God-awful.
It is just god awful boring from beginning to end. This show has its moments, but I hate it. I hate the
I
words
can't
that
tell
are
you
coming
to
out of my
suffer
mouth.
through probably 6 hours of like suffering and slow, boring episodes to get to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of good
If
of
you can
good
find
shit,
like a
and then a terrible ending.
If you can
I
find
can't-
like a highlight reel on YouTube of like Kamen Rider Zero-One best moments, watch that and you'll be good.
Go for it. But there's no reason to watch the show. It's gonna ruin your expectations.
So
You'll be just as disappointed as we are.
We've been recording for about an hour. We should probably cut it off here. All right.
fair.
So let's kind of give a. Well, I have some more things I want to talk about, but let's give a. Let's give like a final grade. I'm gonna let you two give your grades first, and
let Brendan go first.
He's
the guest.
Do a letter grade. We're gonna do
A letter grade.
A to F.
A to F. Probably a C minus.
D plus. D.
Yeah.
D.
I feel the same as Brendan. I would give it like a C minus. No, not even that. I take it back because I can't say if it was passable. I would say watch the show. It's not. Like like a D.
Yeah.
I would give it.
Yeah. I'll have to change my grade to a D plus.
Because
I'm D. Straight up.
It's
D.
a D. There are parts that are good, but it's not worth looking at that good when so much of it is bad. So here we are, the first season of Reiwa over, and it went out with not a bang but a whimper. So at the end of it all, don't watch Zero-One. And every time I say those words, I'll look down and sigh because it could have been a good show, but
I wish it was.
We had to get real woke about it. Maybe we haven't woken up, sheeple.
We're not woke enough to realize how good this show is.
Yeah, I am particularly not woke enough.
And before we end this, I want to say, if you liked Kamen Rider Zero-One from beginning to end, good. I am so fucking glad.
I'm so glad you could find enjoyment in this show.
I know that we all sound sarcastic, but we genuinely aren't. If you have enjoyed this show, I would actually like to know what made you say at the end of it all, it's a good show.
I really wish I could say the same.
I wish we could say the same. Maybe just the fact that writing is so important to the three of us is what kind of killed this for you. If you watch Kamen Rider for the action, you fucking got what you wanted with this show. Oh my god, the action's so good.
So well done when they aren't using CG.
The thing is, Kamen Rider isn't Kamen Rider because of action. It's Kamen Rider because of everything. Kamen Rider is a wonderful show where the writing and the characters and the story and the action just all seem to connect in this masterful grid of amazingment. And when the writing is bad, there's not much you can do. But like I said, if you've enjoyed this show and if you enjoyed us talking about it, I guess I should say, if you've enjoyed this show, tell us what about it make you like it, or just keep it to yourself and know the satisfaction of the show was good and you feel a warm.
And if you feel the same way we do about the show, you can lament about it with us in the comment section.
Yeah, sure. Or on Twitter. Well, actually, I've deleted Twitter off my phone, but I'll be on it on my computer. But yeah, you can lament with us and tweet at me and go, Parker, I'm sorry, and I'll go, no, my child, it's okay.
I am sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
Anyway, I think I need to make myself feel better. We'll be able to punch Nazis next week. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, Marvel Champions. Don't worry about that. I'm probably gonna have to cut that out. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up. If you like the video, like it if you want. I make no demands. Subscribe if you would like.
I do.
I'm going to try and make more Kamen Rider content, but I would highly recommend, if you are into JRPGs, and like me and Len, a wonderful Let's Play has just started on the channel of Trails of Cold Steel. And I fucking love the game, but it's my first time playing it, and Len's first time watching someone else play it.
I've played it 5 times. I love this game from the depths of my heart, and I'm glad Parker's enjoying it.
So if you enjoy me and Len, go watch that. And if you enjoy Brendan, he wants you to leave him alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Watch our Kamen Rider Bachelor video.
Yes!
He's in that one.
He is also in that one. That's a great video. You want to watch us being happy about Kamen Rider? Go watch that video.
Yeah, and it's really rant about Forze being the best game.
Yeah, we have serious debates about whether or not being hot qualifies you for S tier.
At least qualifies you for higher than other characters at the same level if you're also hot. That's the thing.
Yep.
That was my argument for Alan.
Anyways.
All right. Bye. Hopefully more Kamen Rider content will be coming out soon, but we need to get this gargantuan weight off our shoulders.
We don't have to talk about Zero-One ever again.
Well, we will, because we're going to watch all the movies probably, because...
Fuck!
Listen! You know that this show isn't over! I believe that these movies could be good if they go back to basics. I have faith.
Take the words from Zero-Two.
Yeah.
It's never over.
It's never over. Alright, later.
Peace.
ダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好きすぎてどれだけ強いを避けても歪まない思い出がバカみたい